Let's look at this. Emdiel sneakily walking up there. The unsuspecting Fiora is about to face check and she just drops dead. Okay. Okay. Dark Harvest nerf. Obviously. Welcome everyone to another Challenger Misfortune analysis, and we are again looking at Emdiel. I am probably looking at least one of Emdiel's games per patch. So this is patch 8.20. Dark Harvest nerfs are live, and well, Emdiel is almost religiously playing Dark Harvest on Misfortune. By the way, very nice Pulsefire skin. No, that Pulsefire Gun Goddess skin. Haven't seen that on his account yet, but looks nice definitely. And what Emdiel uses to do is he first of all, he goes Dark Harvest. God, I need to remember those. Taste of Blood, Eyeball Collection, Ultimate Hunter with Absolute Focus and Gathering Storm. So he goes on full damage. It shows in his runes, and it also even more so shows in his build. He not only does skip boots every game, so he never buys boots, never, never, ever, but he goes for all the lethality items. So his core would be Ghostblade, Duskblade, Last Whisper, mostly Lord Dominic's Regards, that is, Edge of Night, and then another Serrated Dirk. And okay, the Talia gank forcing out Flash. Leona is very low though, and the problem with tank supports being low is they are useless with no HP. So he needs to be a little bit more careful there. But he starts his Doran's Blade. So Doran's Shield, I think, is always never. Well, I need to watch this. Sorry. Holy moly, that was close. Yeah. Jhin just gets super fat there. He dies. Leona dies too, I would say. Wow, the heads up play. Yeah, okay. Okay, that was too much. I don't see Emdiel winning this, to be honest. Oh, okay, the minions. Okay, wow, nice. Okay, good job. I underestimated the damage there. Yeah, but especially in early fights like this, the Dark Harvest nerf really shows. It's 20 damage you lose flat out, and well, early game 20 damage is pretty much a quarter of your total damage. Since wait, let's actually, can we check? Yeah, we only see the soul count. We don't see the actual damage formula. I think it was pre-nerf 40 to 80 base damage plus 80 scaling plus soul scaling, and now it's 20 to 60. Well, you pretty much lost half of your base damage at least on level 1, which really hurts your early game. But as I've said, Emdiel religiously playing Dark Harvest, so he still picks it even though he plays with a nerfed rune then. And very interesting pickup. He does this sometimes. Well, he had 1,400 gold there. Yes, pretty much exactly. And he spent it all on long swords for maximum AD. Because when you buy a Serrated Dirk, for example, you spend 1,100, and then you would be sitting on 300, which he cannot spend on boots because he doesn't want to buy boots. So buying 4 long swords, all 4 of those go into Ghostblade or Duskblade, so he uses his gold efficiently. And he gets the maximum amount of stats out of it. Okay, now he needs to pick up this wave before he can do anything else. With blue buff, Misfortune with blue buff is interesting in lane, because normally what you cannot do with a build like this is you cannot spam your E at all in lane, because it's just so much mana and you need the mana for Qs and all that kind of stuff. But with blue buff, you can pretty much spam all your abilities on cooldown. So I would assume... Okay, wait. It already expired? Not getting any mileage out of that blue buff, it seems. But they... Well, Jhin has 2 long swords and a refillable, and Misfortune has 4 long swords. So he does have more stats. In an all-in fight, he would win If they poke back and forth, Jhin might come out on top because of refillable potion, but we'll see how it develops. Obviously, we still need to keep the map in mind. They see the Nidalee at the Raptors, so they know they are safe as of now, but she could be bot lane. Yeah, she's moving down, so they know she's around in about 15 seconds. So fighting would be a very bad idea right now. Additionally, they don't have wards in those bushes, so they, yeah, now the alert ping comes. They don't know whether she's actually here or not. Okay, this ward is extremely hard to clear. If you give in to the temptation of clearing this ward. That was one crit, right? Wait. What happened? Alright. One crit. Okay, that's a heads-up play. I see it. Thresh got low from the first crit, which was his own fault, but then he tried to get a grab, and he's obviously stuck in his grab animation. So what Emdiel saw there was that there was no chance for him to dodge the Q bounce, and he outright killed him with it. Crazy. Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's one way to get ahead. Sitting at 3-0 right now. Crazy. Yeah, but what I was about to say is clearing this ward is pretty hard if both laners are alive, both enemy laners, because the jungler could be hiding and this ward could be bait, and you don't want to take that risk. Yeah, Thresh obviously now playing a lot more carefully. You have to give her space. You cannot challenge Misfortune in the early game like this when she is at 3-0 already. Yeah, so blue team obviously playing very far back right now. And finish Duskblade. Emdiel likes to go Duskblade first. I personally like Ghostblade a little bit better, but Emdiel goes Duskblade first because it allows him to control... Well, in lane... how can I explain this? In lane, Duskblade is better because you can control the bushes and you can proc it over and over using those bushes. But Ghostblade is better for rotations and also helps you during fights, especially when you don't have boots. When I play no boots Misfortune, I always like to get Ghostblade first, because while I have the active ability of Ghostblade ready, I can kind of pretend I have boots while I fight, since the active gives you enough movement speed to the point where you can still somewhat reliably run through a battlefield without feeling super slow. But another upside of Duskblade first obviously is that you can start stacking your eyeball collection right away. So obviously it's Emdiel, he goes for the most aggressive line every single time, and buying Duskblade is definitely his preferred choice. Alright, Jhin farming from super far back. Yeah, they cannot afford to walk up at all. Jhin missing out on some CS. He obviously takes what he can get, but he needs to respect the fed Misfortune. Jhin sitting at components while Misfortune has a completed item. Yeah, this is not looking good for him. And here the Duskblade already comes in handy. And this is one eyeball poor guy. One eyeball collection stack for Emdiel already. Well, he's sitting at 7 already, but one additional. Because he got 2 per kill, so he's sitting at 7 right now with that ward kill. They shouldn't dive this in my opinion, but I don't know. Yeah, just imagine if the jungler just randomly came around, they would all be dead. I don't think that was a great idea. Additionally, now all their abilities are cooldown, so well, obviously those two are low, but you are susceptible to jungle ganks in a position like this, so you need to be careful. Especially with an early game focused jungler like Nidalee. Emdiel just just camping this bush with Duskblade. I love it. Yeah, obviously you give yourself away when you auto attack, and Duskblade deactivates a few seconds after since you give the enemy vision. Danger ping's coming. And that's also one thing. As soon as you start zoning the enemy laners like this, you are then a prime target for the enemy jungler. And it is indeed bot side. Red team are now recalling, spending some more gold, yeah, another serrated dirk. Basically 1.5 items. This is, in this build especially, the more important component. $56 stacks. How's farm going? Actually quite even. Both players having a really good farm. I mean, it's to be expected. This is Emdiel's Smurf account, by the way, so this game is not Challenger Elo. Emdiel is a Challenger tier player, but this game is on a Smurf, so it's a Diamond 2 game or something. Yeah, Diamond 2, I think, is his Elo currently on this account. And Jin finished Stormrazor, which is nice for him. And Jin, by the way, nerfed this patch due to the bug fix. This is also something to keep in mind. Does he use Hail of Blades? Can I see this somewhere? Yeah, he uses Hail of Blades. Even though it is, well, quote-unquote nerfed. He doesn't even use his rune, he just straight up 100 to zeros them like it's nobody's business. It's crazy. Wow. He doesn't even bother. Leona stuns them and he just presses R and watches it. Absolutely crazy. He's so fed right now. 4-1 and first tower gold. Dragon is okay-ish. I would prefer having a control ward in the pit so it doesn't randomly get stolen. But pulling it out a little bit also is yeah, that was that was actually close. It's also a nice way to make it harder for the enemy to interact. Well, but now Emdiel obviously needs to back. He needs to spend his gold. Not quite enough, though. Oh, he waits for the ghost bit, I would say. Yeah, it's 5 gold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ghostblade. Alright, sitting at 2 completed items, and Jin sitting at 1 barely. And he buys boots, which is also a nice little money sink. Alright, since bot tower is taken, let's ignore this mess right now. Since bot tower is taken and dragon is taken, Emdiel does the right macro play and just goes top lane. Because what this allows him to do is extend his lead and, yeah, well, bring his lead to other lanes and influence the rest of the map that way. So, Leona obviously needs to ward up the area and Emdiel needs to stay safe, but alright, mid lane not looking too well. Or is it? Yeah, Emdiel reacting immediately. He sees the fight happening and just runs down with Ghostblade. But it didn't... Oh, that's nasty. It wasn't necessary in this situation, and actually almost died. Nice, but generally speaking, as soon as you see something happening on the map and it's somewhat close to your position, you want to react immediately, because the potential payoff is just so high, and the potential cost of not going is also very high. Just imagine if you don't react, the enemy get a double kill or something, and you lose the game off of this. But if you had reacted, you could have turned it completely around, killed all of them, and carried the game from there. And what are you losing for this? A few minions at most, so always worth it. Yeah, but yeah, Emdiel couldn't follow through with his macro plan. because he needed to react to the mid lane play, but generally speaking, after taking bot turret, you want to extend your lead and carry to other lanes, which is why you go top lane and take the turret there. However, now the red team's turret has fallen, and Emdiel is in kind of a tricky situation. Yeah, blue team has pretty much control over the topside river and taken Rift Turret. Emdiel is in the tricky situation that he cannot really push out the wave too far because the safety net of this turret is just gone. So yeah, so he cannot push too far. Same old story. Leona stun into one shot. Italy is in one shot range too. You might get her. Oh, this is dangerous. Thresh CCing him is insta-death. Wasted ulti. Okay. Not if Nidalee just jumps into it. What was that? Yeah, that was just a super dumb play from the Nidalee. From the Nidalee's perspective. Emdiel's ulti wasn't too great in my opinion, but Nidalee kind of made it worth by jumping into it. And now red team has numbers advantage, which allows them to just take what they want. Syndra is dangerous. She used ulti, yes, but still, as an AD carry, you don't want to get too close to her. At least not at this point in the game. Yeah, this is an overstay. As a nice rule of thumb, when you go for a push after you pick somebody out of position. Okay, that was close. Pre-nerf, pre-Dark Harvest nerf, this probably was a kill, but no, it isn't, which is unfortunate. But generally speaking, you get a pick, you start to push, but you don't want to be around when the person you got the pick on is respawning, because that's when the overstay starts. They don't have numbers disadvantage anymore, and the other person returns with full health, full mana, spent all their gold. Yeah, that's the point where you overstay. Okay, so right now working towards Edge of Night actually, not going for Last Whisper. I thought it was straight up more damage when you just go for Last Whisper third instead of Edge of Night, but I don't know. Emdiel, you are probably watching this, so if you can leave a comment on why you go for Edge of Night there instead of Last Whisper, that would be great. Well, I don't know. Maybe he just sits on Serrated Dirk and then goes for Last Whisper from there. Might also be an option. This pickaxe might also go into Lord Dominic's regards. Alright, again, play happening bot side, MD reacting, collapsing on the Misfortune, on the Fiora. And obviously you want to play around bot side even more so when Dragon is up. Ouch. Yeah, Singed goes down. Just insta-killing them. But this fight is also... I'm not a fan. Okay, he gets the soul stack after all. Yeah, but after Singe died, I wouldn't be too sure about this fight and just back off. Alright. And... well, Emdiel has fallen behind in farm a little bit. He could be at 200 farm right now had he power farmed the game, but there was a lot going on and he needed to pick up those kills. It's understandable that he missed out on some minions You cannot be everywhere at the same time, right? So definitely worth participating in fights, even if you sacrifice some farm for it. Starting to clear the jungle, which is something this Misfortune build typically struggles with, because it takes a lot of damage and you also need to spend mana. And without mana flow band, you don't have the mana regen, really. Alright, red team functioning even without Misfortune. Which is obviously a nice spot to be in. As Singed already sitting at Dry Lace plus armor items. Not very fun for the enemy to deal with. I would say take inhibitor leave. Emdiel is a little bit late to the party, but I still think he's there in time. Definitely to take out the inhibitor at least. Yeah, but now you got the objective, you should back off, really. If you stay there, it's an overstay, and even if the enemy respawns and you stay there, one of two things is going to happen. Option 1, they outright ace you and then take Baron. Option B, you lost tempo advantage because you overstayed and you need to find a safe space to recall. And while doing that, the other team just takes Baron for free anyway, so you need to leave ASAP, which is what red team did, and now they're looking to take Baron themselves. But it's a kind of fruitless attempt, because red team is low on resources, and Misfortune, with this build especially, is terrible at taking Baron. So yeah, they're baiting. Smart play. Leaving there would just give up Baron for free. However, getting caught also means giving up Baron for free, and even giving the enemy kills on top of that. Yeah, this is not good. They just get aced there. Now, this is exactly what I mean with the overstay. Ideally, immediately after Emdiel landed the final blow on the inhibitor, you all back off, you recall, you spend your gold, and you then start to siege Baron. It's the safest play, which wins you the game most of the time, but by getting greedy or by just not thinking straight and missing your window of opportunity, well, you get in this awkward checkmate situation where you either overstay and get killed, or after you overstay, where you either get killed or you just retreat and give up Baron for free. So yeah, very sticky situation. And the only way to solve this problem is to not get in this situation in the first place, which is the precise reason why you shouldn't overstay after taking the inhibitor. Alright, but it is how it is. We will see how red team copes with that. Okay, so this is what I thought. He just sits on a Serrated Dirk for some extra lethality. It's a cheap lethality item, which you can upgrade later, and then goes for Lord Dominic's regards. So he has a ton of armor penetration now, and is sitting on how many souls? Let me check. Wait, not 20, probably 200 something. Oh yeah, 200. I can see it. Okay, you can see it right there in this area when I hover it. Okay, so this is now a little bit tricky because red team cannot use the super minion advantage at all, since they need to store Lord Baron. And super minions, well, inhibitor is down for 5 minutes, I think, and Baron also lasts for 5 minutes, if I recall correctly. What dragon is coming up? Where can I see it? Ah, there's also a symbol. This is, I think, Cloud Drake. It's not specified there, but this is Cloud Drake's symbol. So, not the most important Drake. I think pros label it the least important Drake in the game. I think the order of importance is Mountain, Infernal, Ocean, Cloud, according to pro players. I don't agree with that. I think Infernal is more important, and I think Cloud is better than Ocean. But, well, who am I? Who am I to judge? I'm only D5 scrub. yeah, you obviously you will lose some turrets. It's inevitable. There was a strangely coordinated attack. It looked like a complete mess, especially after the enemy could just walk out of Misfortune ult. But still, red team came out ahead for some reason. At first sight, it just looked like Singed was inting and Emdiel was wasting his ulti, but apparently it worked out. Obviously, a lot of strength in this build. Well, the ulti is super strong too with these items, but your auto attacks with Dark Harvest are also, well, they have one-shot potential. So you are not a sitting duck after using your ulti, which is a nice touch to Dark Harvest Misfortune, obviously. Are these 5 points in? Yeah, 5. I wasn't sure about this number there, if it's a 3 or a 5, but yeah, it's obviously a 5. Skill order QWE, as most Misfortune players do. Edgeflight completed, and probably Emdiel is working towards another Serrated Dirk. That's what I would guess, judging from his previous games. What? I want to see that again. Okay. Let's look at this. Emdiel sneakily walking up there. The unsuspecting Fiora is about to face check and she just drops dead. Okay. Dark Harvest nerf. Obviously. Well, after getting even more fed, yeah, the enemy didn't get too much mileage out of that Baron, which is kind of a shame, to be honest. But well, Emdiel won't complain about this. You can take mid inhibitor, but I think the correct play. Okay, let's look at this real quick. There is no real incentive to go mid lane. The lane is already pushed, and all you can get there is just one inhibitor, which is a lot, but I mean, look at top lane. The tier 1 is still alive, and what you could be doing, and probably should be doing, is just push in top lane. Mid lane is pushed, so they need to de-push this in order to gain back control over the top side jungle, and bot side for that matter. But you take this tower for free, which is free gold and free map pressure. You take it as 5, and then you just go there, take it also as 5, and then you are in pretty much exactly the same situation as in mid lane, where you probably will start a fight eventually, but in preparation of doing so, you took 2 or maybe 3 turrets, which are just free gold, so it's just a better play in my opinion, but let's see how this plays out. Alright, Singed initiating. Well, obviously this is another point. You don't need to dive anything. You can just take this inhibitor. There's no tower protecting it, so this is why this play might be the play the higher elo players opted for. Alright, where is Misfortune in this mess? Emdiel is there, okay. Let's see how it plays. Singed just initiated, the hard engage happened, and the fight or flight response is coming from the enemy. He dies. Dies to the ignite, but not before. Let's actually look at this a little bit slower. Okay, so Singed flashes in. And Leona follows up. Nidalee instantly drops. Emdiel has his shield activated, and okay, Leona flash misses her skill shot. The Sandra immediately flashes on Emdiel. Yeah, this is probably a mistake from Emdiel to stand that close to the Sandra. They kill her, but they trade with the AD carry, which might be troublesome, but not in this particular case, I wouldn't say, since the red team still has numbers advantage now. Okay, not anymore. Yeah. This fight could have gone a lot better had Emdiel respected the Lissandra flash engage. In the end, however, they trade 2 for 2 and they get the inhibitor. So definitely still worth. Could have been better though, in my opinion. Stopwatch A. Yeah, stopwatch. You can buy a Guardian Angel after, but you can also just buy it in the late game, use it once, and then sell it and buy another item. You don't need to go into Guardian Angel, but it's a one-time use. So even if you buy and sell and then buy another one, it's still a broken stopwatch. You won't get a fresh one ever again. It's a one-time use per game. Alright, so now that mid inhibitor is cracked open, you should definitely be doing what I was calling earlier. And this is pushing top lane. Just snacking a red buff in between. Understandable. Gold on the AD carry never hurts. 10 and 2, crazy. Now this tower is just gone. I would guess one auto kills it. Okay, close, close. Oh, the Sandra's looking for it. That was super ham. That was probably a play as Emdiel as anything I have seen before. Wow. He even flashed to the Sandra stun, I think. Can we see that again? Maybe a little bit slower. Alright. Okay, so the Singed is preparing to go in. And he is. And Misfortune's shield is also up, the Edge of Night's shield. So I want to see that in depth. Okay, Lissandra stun. Well, he tries to flash it, but he doesn't manage to. The spell shoot is still broken. And this allows the... Yeah, it was a nice play. It could have been very good, but he was a split second too late on the flash there. So his spell shield got broken, and then Nidalee could kill him. Wow. Completely crazy play, though. The potential payoff was there. The execution was just a split second off. However, the punishment is also very real since Baron is spawning right now and Emdiel and Leona are dead, so it's a 4v3. Could be a smite fight though. Yeah, they back off. Alright, so red team able to fend them off the Baron. Yeah, they should go to Baron now. I mean, they do have the advantage map pressure-wise because blue team needs to deal with super minions on the regular basis until the inhibitor respawns. Alright, so Emdiel is now still sitting on his stopwatch. Oh, I think the camera actually, the face cam actually blocks off this part of the screen, so you cannot see the items. But he has yeah, you know his items. I told you. And the good thing is I can leave the HUD open, the time controls, because you won't get any spoilers since the end is also blocked off by the camera. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, the items are Ghostblade, Dustblade, Edge of Night, Lord Dominic's Regards, Serrated Dirk, and Stopwatch. So, just to keep you updated. What is this ulti? Not too sure about this. Okay. Yeah, the poke over the wall is just so great. This Fortune looping around the other side. Wait, what? Well, I would have guessed that he prepares a spell shield. Doesn't he have it up? Wait, can I see this? Can I see the cooldown of spell shield of active items? No, I can't. Well, it is. Yes, I can. I see the cooldown of Banshee Veil and of Locket. So he should probably use Edge of Night there. Yeah, there it is. And I would just straight out ult there. But he walks in. One shots to the Sandra. Wow. The autos do so much damage. Oh, ult wasn't up. Oh, that's the reason. Ah, I see. I see. Yeah, this would have been way nicer had ult not been on cooldown. But hey. Sometimes you just have to act. Especially when it's when you fight for an important objective such as Baron. However, the blue team is completely gone, so this might even be finished. Wait, they have 10-ish seconds. Yeah, this is not finished, but they can probably take one of those turrets. However, Baron is also important, so this is a thin line. Sometimes you can finish the game, but sometimes you overstay. And this was an overstay, definitely. That was not worth. Because right now, that was definitely not worth. Red team, those two should have recalled. Those towers don't matter at all. Since this inhibitor has respawned, map pressure is even again, and the Baron is all that matters. Because the team that takes Baron ends the game off of the next push. And now Leona is dead. Huge disadvantage. Nice attempt. Are they taking Dragon right now? This would be a huge mistake. This is such a risky Baron. No reason to do this. Trying to take Baron there was definitely a mistake. Yes, Talia ulti can block the enemy off for some seconds, but it's still a 5v5 and you took damage from Baron and get your resistances reduced. So very much a losing play. And this is what you get. That's the price of impatience. Blue team, however, opting to not take Baron. They're healthy enough. They should have taken Baron. Now that's a mistake. Baron, they cannot finish the game. Well, maybe they can. Maybe, yeah. Misfortune is the only player alive. And he just murders everyone. What? That was a 1v4. That was a 1v4. I mean, really? Okay. I'll just accept this. This has happened. Yeah, Guardian Angel now on cooldown, but definitely worth it. Alright, so obviously very tempting to just try to end the game, but well, obviously it would have been better for blue team to just take Baron and play it safe. Not giving Emdiel the random quadra kill or what it was, a triple kill or something. Yeah, because this right now in return costs them Baron. And then we're sitting at how many soul stacks? 316, okay. Yeah, right now the 20 damage off of the base don't matter at all. 100% don't matter. It's just in the early game. The late game, pretty much the same. Percentage-wise, I mean, he's sitting at how much AD? 527. And so a third of that would be 180 roughly. 170 maybe, something along those lines. So 180 plus 300 souls is almost 500 bonus damage with the base damage, and 20 damage off of 500. What's that percentage-wise? 1%? Well, no, that's too little. 20 of 120%, and a fifth of 4%. 4%. Yeah, he just walks around murdering everyone. And this should be the game. Yeah, the Dark Harvest nerf actually doesn't matter in the late game. It's a 4% decrease from your Dark Harvest proc, and well, your auto attack damage is obviously on top of that, so percentage-wise the 20 damage reduction is even less of an issue. So it would be... yeah, I think it's a 2% damage reduction overall. Well, but Dark Harvest Misfortune is still completely viable even after the nerf, and this was a Challenger analysis. If you want more of these, just subscribe to the channel if you're new, and leave me a like in the comment, and see you tomorrow.